So I've started off by putting the highlight color on my face, the lightest color. I always use 3 different colors, so 1 highlight, 1 medium transition color, and 1 dark contour color. And sadly, I was not recording myself when I put on the highlight color, but you can kind of see from this example where it goes. So you want to think about where light would hit your face naturally. And so I do these kind of V's on my cheeks and some around the middle where the brows meet and some on the chin, and then 2 kind of triangles over on the sides of the jaw to give an illusion that light is hitting and I have a kind of square jaw. I actually have a very round face, so I basically have to draw a bunch of squares and triangles on my face until it looks more angular. So you want to think about the opposite of a drag queen where she's trying to make her face appear softer, more rounded. You want to try to do the opposite, make your face look more angular and square. So I'm putting the dark contour color around my cheeks. It's very important, and then around the nose, and trying to give my nose the effect that it's bigger than it actually is. I have quite a small nose, but if you put the dark contour color on the opposite sides, kind of a little bit further away, it'll trick the eye into thinking the shadow is further to the side and that the nose is bigger. And I put it around my non-existent jawline, so to give that kind of illusion again, and a dark color around the mustache area, and as well over on the brows, and it just kind of gives a base to when we're going to be drawing on eyebrows later. But it's better to put a base down and then draw the eyebrows on top of that color. And then I like to do the dark contour color to meet my eye, and it gives my eye a little bit more of a shorter look. We want to try to take away the space in between the eyeball and the eyebrow. If you look at men's faces, there's usually not much space between the eyeball and the brow, and I have quite a bit of space, so we're trying to reduce that. And we're putting contour color on the temples, so it gives the illusion of a more square forehead. It's what I'm trying to go for. By putting the highlight color right beside, it kind of furthers that illusion that that's where light's hitting, and then the shadow is starting immediately after. And then I like to put the contour color under my jaw to give an illusion of a square jaw. Super important. And then I like to do this line on my forehead, and it makes my forehead look a little bit shorter, and like there's kind of an invisible, or just a line being created by the sun. It gives a more masculine appearance. And then I like to go in and just blend it all out. So I use a beauty blender. You can use kind of whatever, like a foundation brush or whatever works for you, a silly sponge, but for me, I like the beauty blender. I feel like it blends everything really nicely, and we want to make sure that we kind of get rid of all of those harsh lines that we've drawn on the face. So putting the transition color down in between the highlight and the contour, you can't really see it because it's the same color as my skin, but it helps to kind of ease that transition and makes everything look a little bit more blended and a little bit more natural. But again, this is drag, so it doesn't matter if you kind of see like a line here and there, because it is, you know, people expect that. It's the illusion of a different face on your face. And I like to blend down from the neck, so not putting too much product around the neck, but using the product that's already there and blending downwards will help to create this illusion of a more sculpted neckline. And I like to put 2 triangles again, meeting where my collarbones do, and a white color on the Adam's apple where I don't actually have an Adam's apple, but I'm creating one with the illusion of light. And then just going in and blending everything super well. Even when you think you're done blending, go in and blend some more, because it doesn't hurt to be too blended. And here I am just highlighting this kind of square that I've drawn on my forehead, just making it look a little bit more masculine, putting those squares and triangles everywhere. And make sure to get under the nose. Again, I'm going a little bit further away from where my nose is to make it look like my nose is a little bit bigger. And now we're going to go ahead and put a, I like to use Koty Airspun powder all over my face. Use a lot of powder because sometimes when you're dancing around you get sweaty, and the powder helps to seal all of the cream foundation in place. And it also, this particular powder is not a translucent, it has a little bit of a beige color to it, so it helps to kind of reduce the super contrasted colors that we've put on. And just beat your face, and then I like to also sit and let the powder cook on my face. It helps to kind of, it mixes in with the heat from your skin, and it just helps to lock everything in place again. So take your time, go get some food, go do whatever, and let that cook on your face. And then I go in and highlight and contour again, but with powder on top of the setting powder. So we're just using the same lines that we've created with the cream foundation, just going over again with powder to kind of bring back what we lost with the setting powder. Don't forget your chin. We want to make my chin look a lot more pronounced than it is, like a strong man's chin. And around the eyes, just anywhere where we put the cream foundation. Don't forget your neck and the mustache area. And this kind of takes a lot of color away from the face. It makes me look a little bit like a zombie, so I like to go in with a more precise kind of smaller brush and go in, get the finer details, and then I go over everything with a bronzer just to kind of bring life and light back into the face. I feel like the white kind of makes me look a little bit like a zombie, so you just want to bronze the cheeks and anywhere you put that darker color, and then spilling over onto the highlight a little bit so that it's blended. And I also like to put on a blush, a kind of neutral, not too visible blush, but it helps to again bring life into the face. And now it's time to go in and really exaggerate the brows. So I have pretty big brows, but I like to make them a lot bigger. I feel like it sells the illusion a lot more of like a masculine face if you have a really pronounced brow. So I like to first go in with a bigger eyebrow pencil and just cover the whole brow with it, and then I go in with a skinny eyebrow pencil and do a little bit of the details. So you want it to be skinny enough that you can draw individual hairs, so that kind of sells the realistic look to the brows instead of having kind of a big stamp of a brow on your face. I go for a more kind of realistic look, so drawing the brow hairs individually helps to blend in the fake exaggerated brow with your natural face. You want to think about, again, reducing the space between your eyeball and your eyebrow, so I like to go a little bit lower across the whole thing, and then I fill in my arch. So anywhere where the brow is arched, I fill it in so that it makes more of a rectangle shape. Again, keeping with the idea of drawing squares, you want your eyes to be more of a rectangle. I go a little bit up where the arch is, but it's more of a masculine arch than a kind of like Angelina Jolie arch brow. You want to think more Brad Pitt. So go in and don't be afraid to make your eyebrows as pronounced as you need, because it really kind of helps sell the man look. And now I'm gonna do eyeshadow. So I take a kind of darker brown color, and I like to spray my brush with a setting spray because it helps to make the eyeshadow stick a little bit longer. And I like to do the kind of inside and outside of my eyeball. I feel like it gives a kind of smoldering look to the eye. And it makes my eyes look a little bit more set, so you want to make them look a little bit deeper and not so out. And then I go in with a fine, kind of skinny brush and touch up the details in my eyebrows, just make them a little bit more pronounced. And I like to continue this line from the brow to the temple. It's totally optional, it's something that I like to do, but feel free to do your brows however you want. And now I'm going to go in and put a shimmer kind of gold color on the middle part of my eyeball. I feel like it just kind of makes the eye pop a little bit, and I know you're thinking like, why are you using a shimmery gold? But this is drag and it's about exaggeration, and I feel like it doesn't look like you're wearing eyeshadow on stage, but it does kind of give a brightness to the eye that wasn't there before, and it is drag, so don't be afraid to put makeup on your face. I like to also spray the shimmer color with a setting spray because it does make it last longer, and it makes the shimmer color appear more vibrant than if you just use a dry brush. And I go in and put that dark brown color under the eye, giving myself a kind of smoldering effect, and you want to make sure to blend that down, blend it out. You don't want to have any harsh lines, you want to make it look like you're a real smoldering man. And then I like to use a dark brown mascara, so the black kind of gives it a woman's eyelash look, so having the dark brown to me looks a lot more natural. And I also curl my lashes, so it kind of opens the eye a little bit, and it makes your eyes look bigger, but without giving you that kind of like female look. You're still a man with long lashes. And now I'm going to go in and put a highlight color on my cheekbones, just kind of giving that life back in the face, letting light hit me where I want it to. I like to use a gold color because it kind of goes with the gold tones that I'm using. And to finish it off, I use a nude, shiny lip gloss, and I know it could look a little bit feminine, but it does look nice on stage, and it gives you a kind of glossy, like kissed look, so don't be afraid to use a glossy lip even if you're being a drag king. And then I like to finish it off with a setting spray all over so that it will last the night, hopefully. And that's the final look. It's my Popstar boy. I think you know who it is, hopefully. But yeah, have fun.